Russ taking the high road there. Shannon, how'd you like his response?
Skip, what else can he say? They were talking to you. Patrick Beverley said, he's trash.
He's trash.
Maybe
they weren't talking to him, but they were talking about him.
After what transpired up under the basket, he looked to the Lakers bench, said, he's trash, held his nose. When he shot that air ball, Karl Anthony Towns, Pat Beverley had the ball because the T-Wolves called a timeout. He threw the ball up in the air like somebody was throwing it. Like somebody tried to hit him in the head with the ball and he had to duck. They're talking about you. And I got no problem with the trash talking. Skip, people don't look at the Lakers. This is not the Showtime Lakers. This is not Shaq and Kobe's Lakers. This is not Powell and Kobe's Lakers. This is not LeBron and AD Lakers, AD's first year there. They're down. When you're down, I'm going to beat you down. I'm going to keep you down. Skip, remember all the talking that Buffalo was doing to New England when they got them in the playoffs, Skip? And they beat the brakes out of them, and they thought, this is the end of them. They are done. It's over.
That's true.
All the years that you had the upper hand and you were beating us down, when the tide turned, I'm going to pummel you. Skip, this is what I want to know. Anybody, let's just say for the sake of argument, you don't know any of these players. You don't know anybody. And I'm just going, everybody's last name. LeBron James' last name isn't going to be James. It's going to be Fitzsimmons.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook last name is going to be Jones.
Okay.
And we just watching basketball games. We just watched 60 games. What do you think a person that's never seen these guys play, what do you think they think of Russ? We watched 60 games. I'm just saying, you've never seen Russ play before. You've never seen Russ. You don't know anything about him. Mm-hmm. You know the game. You love the game of basketball. You watch 60 games. You tell me what they think.
They would think he's a candidate to get cut.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you. See, the reason why I don't have a problem with them trash talking, because Russ started this mess. Russ trash talk all the time. He rocking the baby, Skip.
All the time.
Ain't got no problem with that. You too little. I got no problem. But, bro, if you talk it, you got to be able to take it. Because at some point in time, they're going to get you. They're going to get you back. You ain't going to always be on top, trust me. I talk more you know what than anybody. But Skip, when they had a chance to beat the Broncos, when they had a chance to get the Ravens, they let me know. What's wrong? Why you not talking now, big mouth? Mm-hmm. Hey, what all the guarantees? Where are your muscles? Let me see those more big old muscles you got.
There you go.
Got to take it.
Got to take it.
You just got to take it. And somehow, I don't know why, it just, LeBron will come, and that cross-court pass, somehow, he find Russ. And somehow LeBron say, you know what, this time going to be different, Skip.
Yep.
This shot going to go in. Skip, I mean, he's shooting shots, Skip, that don't touch the rim. Skip, he's 7 feet, 8 feet from the basket on one side and hit the backboard on the other side. Don't even touch the rim. He's 3 feet from the basket, and he shoots an air ball. It's not all Russ' fault. Skip, the Lakers are terrible. Skip, you watched them. I watched the Lakers really, really close. And it's to the point now, I'm just like, I don't really know what else to tweet. Again, they gave up another 60-plus points in the first half, Skip. Again, they got out-rebounded. Again, they scored, 12 points one night. I think they had 17 last night.
Yep.
It is what it looks. Look, we can beat up Russ. Like I said, Russ is not the main reason the Lakers are losing. The Lakers are losing because, think about it, Skip, Austin Reeves in your starting lineup. Stanley Johnson's on a 4-day contract, and he plays heavy minutes. Avery Bradley had gotten cut by the Golden State Warriors. He plays minutes. Let that sink in, Skip. And you thought AD's hurt? AD's been hurt for a while. AD, with the exception of that first year, AD's been hurt a lot. They're not a good team. I wish I could dress it up and give you something more like, Skip, if they did this, they're not a good team. And this is why they can't do that. This is why they can't defend. This is why they turn the ball over. They're bad. It's as simple as that, Skip. But, Russ, you got to expect this. Every time, all them times you rocked the baby, all the time you said somebody was too small, all that time you was chirping with Pat Bev, talking about he running around out there saying nothing. Okay, it's time to get you back.
I hear everything you just said, but I'm going to go one level deeper on Russ. He has just worn me completely out with his delusional living in the past. Every postgame, he's looking at the reporters like, don't you know who you're talking to?
When they can get him off his phone,
Or reading the stats. Yeah.
Yeah, so when they can get him off his phone, you're absolutely right.
He looks up, huh? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Do you realize who I am? I'm Russell Westbrook. And then he goes off on this rant the other day. And again, I feel sorry for his family, but it's his fault that they're in this position. I can't take my kids to the games anymore. Well, it's your fault.
Yeah.
You are the single worst three-point shooter in all of basketball.
Right.
He doesn't quite qualify because he doesn't take enough attempts. But if you just look at it as is, those stats, he's the worst.
Right.
He's 28% from three. Since the All-Star break, he's 11% from three. It's pathetic. It's unwatchably bad.
Yes.
And he's still, by 5, leads the NBA in turnovers. What are we supposed to do with that? And I keep saying every night, it can't get any worse. And then it got worse because the Timberwolves, featuring Pat Bev, are clowning you.
Yes.
And
that's the second time they've done that, too, though.
Second time they've done that. And obviously, Pat Bev and Russ go way back, and there's a lot of bad blood going on there because once upon a time, early in a playoff series against Houston, Pat Bev tried to snake the ball away from Russ as he was trying to call timeout. It was borderline against the unwritten rule. You got to let him go ahead and finish the timeout motion. But he tried to snake, and Russ tried to quickly turn sideways, and he tore his cartilage. Yeah. And it was kind of freakish. I got to tell you, it was kind of a freakish injury, but it happened. Yes. And it cost Russ the rest of that playoff run, right? And since then, they've gone back and forth. I remember once upon a time, Russ said he don't play no defense. Right. You know, he's out there going through the motions.
Yeah, he running around, got y'all, Pat Bev out here running around, got y'all food.
Okay. I do think Pat Bev plays some defense.
He does.
And he plays some psychological defense because he just wants to get under your skin.
Right.
And he's pretty good at it.
He's great at it.
And he's pretty good at getting his hand on the ball, and he blocked LeBron from behind last night one time where he just sneaks in and just gets his hand on top because he knows how to play. He learned how to play overseas in Russia and Greece, and he paid his dues to get in this league.
He's not the quality player, but Skip, he's a mini Dennis Rodman.
He is.
He's a nuisance.
and you know what? I know him a little bit. I respect his game because to last as long as he has with his ability, because it's mediocre at best kind of ability, but up here, no, he's got it.
Because normally, guys, you got to, like, you can shoot the ball. You guys come out the bench, going to give you 10, 12, 14 points. Like last night, he had a good game shooting the ball, Skip, but that's not what he's known for. He's a defender, and he takes pride in that. He's going to play hard. He's going to fight.
He's known for being an irritant, kind of like Rodman.
He's that.
Right, and when he's in the game, it just electrifies the game because he brings energy, he brings electricity, he brings antagonism, he brings spark to it because he's going to get a rise out of somebody.
Yeah, and his crowd love it. Skip, he just knocks the ball out of hand, and he get out like, bro, you just knocked the ball out of hand. But the crowd going crazy. You see what Pat Bev did? Pat Bev almost got a steal. Like, but that's him.
Russell Westbrook had a documentary on his life and times drop right before this season dropped. And I told you going into the season, this is bad news for the Lakers because he is going to be on the highest, mightiest pedestal as the new starting point guard for his childhood dream team. And he can't live up. He's getting exposed.
It didn't work.
It just didn't work. And obviously LeBron blessed it because I think LeBron, like a lot of people, thought he was going to be way better than this. And instead, night after night, and this was the low point for me because I just found this flat out offensive, he's scoffing at the T-Wolves saying, nobody over there has ever done anything in this league that would make me pick my eyes up and say, oh, they're talking mess, let me respond. So he's saying they're beneath me.
Right.
Well, are they?
It's a
because they're way better than you were.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a great stat last night on that Sports Spectrum LA after the game. Poor James Worthy can barely speak now because he's run out of words trying to defend this team. But these two teams, not too long ago, were both 24-24. And since then, the T-Wolves are 17-6. So in the last 23, they've gone 17-6. The last 23, or actually last 21 for Lakers, 5-16. So they're just headed in exactly different directions.
Yes.
The point is, Russ is looking down his nose at them, and now I look down my nose at Russ's playoff record.
Yeah.
Overall, it's 55 and 56.
He's won one series since KD left.
That is
was
correct.
when Houston with Harden.
And by the way, the first 4 games of that bubble series against Oklahoma City with Chris Paul,
Right.
first 4 games, Russ missed because with injury. He came back for the last 3, and they won in 7. So
Right.
that's the only one he's won.
Right.
Since KD left him and chose to leave him to go to Golden State, Russ in the postseason is 8 and 21. So I'm not sure he can talk. And then Pat Bev responded on Twitter late last night after
Right.
that shot, saying he's been in the playoffs every year, 2 Western Conference Finals with 2 different teams. Well, he has.
Right.
And so his question that he asked is it individual stats or team stats? He said, I thought it was a team sport.
Right.
Well,
You're
it
right.
is.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
And what,
It is.
what did I say going into this year? Russ has become the ultimate solo act of a stat machine because we've never seen anything like 4 triple-doubles averaged in the last 5 years, and that qualified him, we believe, as a slam dunk first ballot
Right.
Hall of Famer, but he's getting exposed as a team player.
Right.
And last night was hitting bottom because not only is Pat Bev shaming him, but you know and I know what Pat Bev was doing. I don't know if we still have it or maybe it's part of the package, but then he goes over to LeBron, who's just got his hands on his knees, and slaps him on the butt sarcastically, like, you having fun out here, big guy?
You're like, yeah,
Right?
hey, this
You
is
having
what you
fun?
got to
Here
play
we go.
with.
Yeah,
Look.
you know, like that. He's just trying to drive home the point to poor LeBron, like, you enjoying this, big man? You enjoying it? Here we go again. He's laughing. He's clowning. God. And LeBron's talking to the ref like, can he get away with that? Because you could argue that should be a technical foul.
Right, it should be
Because
taunting.
you touched him. I mean,
Right.
you again, it's just a sarcastic
Right.
butt slap, right?
Right.
And the ref's kind of looking at LeBron like, I don't know what to do about that because
Right.
that's not in our rule book, right?
Yeah. It's just, Skip, it's just, every for the last 2 months, you're like, can they get any lower? Is this rock bottom? And they go further and further and further. And it's to the point now, but I said, Skip, I said this 20 games ago. I said they're going to be lucky to make the playoffs, not just to play in. Now, San Antonio look like I don't know, Portland might be tanking trying to get picks.
Well, they don't have Anthony Simon,
Right.
So again, I'm not sure.
But they play harder than all. They were playing really good, and then all of a sudden
Josh Hart was.
Josh Hart played unbelievable. Hell, if I didn't know better, if they didn't have LeBron, I would think the Lakers are tanking.
You could make that case. It's starting to. It feels like that.
But they don't got nobody. They ain't got no picks, so
Yeah.
they're not gonna get no lottery. They're not going to get any ping pong balls anyway. But Skip, I just think Russ has lost some confidence. If anybody, if he says he's just as confident as he's always been, it's not showing in his play.
I would agree. So he's had a big problem with his last name. How dare you call me, disrespect my last name, Westbrook, which
Right.
I think I originated, I'm not sure, back in 2012, but it's been out there for
Yeah,
years and years.
right.
It just came to fruition because it applies.
Yeah.
It fits,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
And we come down to...
Look, that's Cat when he shot an air ball.
Shot
This
an
Pat
air ball.
Bev. Look
Yeah.
at Pat Bev.
Yeah.
Look, oh my
Look
goodness.
out, look out. You might get hit by an air ball. Okay. So, and you know what Laker Nation was saying when he went up to shoot it from
No,
the
they
corner?
say no.
Don't.
Right.
And I think in the back of LeBron's mind, he's saying, no.
It's too late because LeBron, you already when you skip past it to him,
No.
it was over.
Okay, last point on this. Obviously, nobody in this team wants to play any defense anymore. And I've never seen anything like it
Skip,
before.
it's bad.
Because it went from #1 last year in defensive efficiency. It's fallen to 17th now.
Skip, how are they 17th
And
still?
I don't even know how. But the point is, every game seems to be over in the first quarter because
Yes.
they just get blown off
Blown
the
off
floor.
the court.
And they're down 20.
But guess what happens, Skip? Then all of a sudden they make a run.
do, every time.
They cut it down. They cut it down to 6.
This is the MO. They do. They don't quit. They don't
Right,
flat out
right.
quit. They'll keep trying. And if somebody gets a hot hand, it could be LeBron, could be Melo,
or
could be Malik.
Yeah, But here's the thing, though, Skip. Why not play with that intensity
I don't
while
know.
it's 0-0?
Okay.
Why do you wait till you're 25, 30 down to try to come back?
It's especially on the defensive end. So I circled one play last night, and it happened on defense. Russ, it was 9-10 left in the second quarter. This made the score 43-23. If we could just see this, this is Russ on defense, and he appears to be like he's pointing like he's pointing like Who's got him?
Right.
Well, maybe you got him. I think he's your guy.
Well, you remember the one last night when the Lakers had 3?
Look at this. Like, what are you guys doing? Russ is pointing, and it's his man. I'm pretty sure it's his man.
Yeah, but I guess he was trying to tell Wayne Ellington, you stay, I'm going to take your guy here.
I don't know, but it was horrendous, and that made it 20. That made it a 20-point game. That was Nathan Knight.
Yeah.
I'd not heard of Nathan Knight until last night. Nathan Knight, he scored 4 points in the game, and that was 2 of them. And those are the 2 easiest points he'll ever score in his career.
But Skip, I think it was maybe the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter. The Lakers have 3 guys around, Melo, Russ, and somebody else. And Pat Bev gets the ball with all 3 Lakers just standing around. Pat Bev gets the ball and lays it in the basket.
You mean he took it away from him?
Yeah. And I was just like, is anybody going to give any effort? I mean, does anybody even care anymore?
Want to? Yeah, I agree.
That's what that is, Skip. Yeah. I mean, they're not even trying. I feel bad for Frank B because he gonna.
You do?
I do, Skip, because look, he's gonna have to walk the plate.
No, but they're not listening to him
they're
anymore.
not.
And
They're
his
not.
calling card is the defensive end.
Well, it's good. Well, Skip, I got to get some cards.
You're out of cards.
I ain't got no cards. I got no cards to
some
play.
new cards to try to get your next job, right?
I ain't got. We playing spades and I ain't got any. I ain't got no face cards. And you like, but we got to play the hand. I can't play this hand. I got to have at least one spade. I'm throwing it in. You can't.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.